Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Unbreakable Wisdom Show. We have been here for 11 years, going on 12 years. Welcome to Autumn Alignment Challenge, week number 5. So, if you have missed weeks 1 through 4, you can find everything at unbreakablewisdom.com. And we've been doing these worksheets, little packets. So week 1 was clear the clutter and use regret as a compass. Week 2 was write your story for Q4, turn the page. That was the theme. Week 3 was your self-worth and standing in your value. Week 4, which was last week, was really talking about watching your words and the fact that everything that you are saying is building the next thing in your life, and that we unwittingly create ceilings for ourselves when we start speaking in a particular way. And those words actually create a ceiling that we're really unaware of, and then we end up not being able to go above that ceiling. And that comes from our own words. Our words are, in essence, bricks to build the path for our future. So every time we say something, it is like we are putting a brick in the foundation for what's coming next. So we want to be really careful about what we're speaking. Hi, Beth. Good morning. So one big thing is the community is now free. I don't know if I said that last week or not. So if you go to unbreakablewisdom.com and you click join the elite community, you can get into the school community for free. And then if you are inside the community, you get all the recorded courses on the Teachable School for free. So in essence, all of the things that I put out to the general public are now free. And we are doing our first goals and accountability group at 9:30 this morning inside the community right after this show. So once a month, I will do a free goals and accountability group for you. And once a month, I will teach a prosperity course, which I taught this last Wednesday night. And it is also inside the community. The recording's inside the community. So if you want to have a different Q4 and a different 2026, there are plenty of resources for free, and you are welcome to them. So today I want to talk to you about habits. The only difference between a high performer and a regular person is that a high performer has habits and systems that get them the results that they want, right? So most people don't have habits that are forwarding the action for them. And you don't rise to the level of your goals. This is a James Clear quote, by the way. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And that's true in companies too. It's not just for people. If you fail to have a system to get you where you want to go, you're not going to get there. And that system is made up of habits. And your habits are what you, in essence, do every single day. The way that you conduct yourself, the things that you do, whether or not you're bookending your days, whether or not you're being positive or negative, like all of the things that make up your day, those are your systems and those are your habits. And if you have lofty goals and shitty habits, you're not going to get there. Your systems have to back up where you want to go. So if you say that you want to have a certain level of income, or you want to create something for yourself for the rest of this fourth quarter or for 2026, you better have a system to get you there, because just motivation is not a system. Willpower is not a system. Motivation, willpower, whether you feel like it or not, those things will come and go. A system means something that you put in place that you do no matter what, consistently, day after day after day after day after day after day. And that is the difference between a high performer and somebody that has what they want out of life, and a regular person that says they want all these things, but they never quite get the result. You either have the result or you have no result or no result. And anything else in there is a story. So you could have a result or you could have no result, And then you'll tell me 67 reasons why you don't have the result. And the truth is, all of that minutia is a story. It's a story. It might be a valid story. It might be a really good story. It might be a worthwhile story. It's still a story. At the end of the day, you either have the result or you have no result. Result or no result. Result or no result. The good news is you can change all that. You can develop habits that support where you want to go. You can be consistent. You can be on purpose. You can direct your time and energy. And the better news is you can do all this whether you feel like it or not. And I think that is one of the biggest things between a high performer and someone that's and a lot of us equate a high performer to someone that's making a lot of money. That's not necessarily always the truth. A high performer is someone I consider to be happy in their life, doing what they want to do and getting done the things that they want to get done. In my mind, that's my definition of a high performer. That person has things in place to guide them, whether they feel like it or not. Whether they feel like it or not. Because I have news. Most of the days, you probably aren't going to feel like it. You probably won't, because I know I don't. Who cares? Who cares whether you feel like it or not? If you're going to base your life on whether you feel like it or not, you probably aren't going to manifest a lot of what you want to see happen. Because on most days, you're probably not going to feel like it, or you're going to be scared, or you're going to have a lot of stories and excuses of why you can't go do the thing. And a high performer just does the thing. Whether they feel like it or not, whether they have a good story or not, whether they're motivated or not, they just do the thing. And they do it consistently. So I made this like extensive worksheet for you guys for this week. It's 12 pages, only because there's lots of spaces for you to write. It's actually kind of like this mini workbook. So if you go to unbreakablewisdom.com, right there, right underneath me, right there, go to the site. At the top, it just says free stuff. You don't even have to give me your email address. I don't even care. You can certainly join our newsletter if you want to, but it's not required to get all the free worksheets for autumn alignment. All the worksheets are there, week 1 through 5. And all the shows, if you click the show, you can get to all the past shows as well. So high-performing people aren't lucky. Successful people aren't lucky. They're intentional. They have systems in place. Businesses that run well, same thing. They have systems in place. And they are consistent with the systems. And in a larger company, when a system breaks down, everything else breaks down. And that's the same thing in your life. With you, if you don't have systems that support where you want to go, and a system is like this. If I want to work out every single day and I want to do that, like I want to get up and then I want to go work out, I might create a system, which is that my gym clothes and everything that I need is right there. So maybe I get out of bed, I get the coffee, I get the breakfast, and then my gym clothes, everything I need is right there. And then I get my ass into the gym or I drive to the gym. So it's like setting up. There's also habit stacking, right? So if you need to take your vitamins, you might want to put those next to your toothbrush. Because God, I hope that you're brushing your teeth before you leave the house. And if you are, I hope you are, then you can take the vitamins while you're right there. Or maybe the vitamins go next to the coffee cup and you do that. Or if you need a protein shake, so that's habit stacking. And that works for a lot of people. So something that you're already doing, hopefully everyone is already showering and brushing their teeth and you're probably eating something before you leave the house. So there probably are things that you're already doing at the beginning of the day that if you put some other stuff next to them or did along with them, that will get you further down the road of where you want to go. I highly, recommend bookending your days. And that is a that is a phrase, I need more coffee. That is a phrase that I coined from Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect. And he talks about bookending your days. And I think that I read that book almost when it first came out, whenever that was. It was a long time ago. And I use that technique with all of my clients, all of my corporate clients, all of my executive personal coaching clients as well. It matters. It matters how you start the day. Bookending your days are a habit, right? That means that when you get up in the morning, you're doing something at the very beginning of the day before you pick up the phone, before the world starts coming at you. You're doing something that helps you be composed for the day. It helps you get your personal peace. It helps ground you. That could be prayer. It could be yoga. It could be meditation. It could be reading something that inspires you. It could be writing down things that you want to do for the day. That's Beth saying in the comments that bookending your days is life-changing. She's a longtime client of mine. At night, it could be simple as a gratitude practice. 5 things that you're grateful for the day, 2 things that you're grateful for at the end of the day. Here's why. Because when you're bookending your days, then everything that comes at you during the day, you are more able to pause and respond rather than react. If you are just bouncing around all day long, reacting to whatever stimuli is coming at you, you are never going to get a hold of yourself, and you are likely never going to be able to have systems that support your growth. In order to grow, in order to achieve the goals that we want to achieve and go where we want to go, what we want to do is create habits that support the identity of the person that we want to become. So when you think about the habits, first of all, it's good to do a little reality check on what your habits are now. Like, you might have a habit of throwing trash in the back of your car and cleaning it out when it gets to be too much. You might have a habit of watching Lifetime TV and eating a bag of Doritos when you come home from work. You might have a habit of drinking too much. You might have a habit of not drinking enough water. Okay? So it's good to, like, when you make your goals, and in Autumn Alignment, we asked you to write a glory story for like Q4, how you want Q4 to be, how you want it to turn out. So in that story that you wrote, if you did that work, or as you think about it, who you want to be is a new identity, most likely. Because if you have goals and you want to keep driving ahead in your life and you want to keep growing and moving, you likely will not be the same person even tomorrow as you were today. And you certainly at the end of the year probably won't be the same person that you are now if you are doing the work, if you are doing the work on yourself. So when you make goals for the future, you actually are making a goal for the new you, for your new identity. And you have to have habits and systems that support that. So your habit of watching Lifetime TV and eating a bag of Doritos does not likely support the goal that you have of wanting to weigh 10 pounds less by the end of the year, or be more flexible and mobile, or be more positive and less critical. Because most of the shows, from what I understand, on things like Lifetime TV and Bravo and all that, like, it's crap programming. It's not going to help you. Watching too much television is a habit, unless you're watching stuff that forwards the action of your life. Like, everything that you put in, you're like a funnel. Everything that you put into the funnel is going to drive through you and come out into your life. So if you're putting crap television and books and horror movies and murders and like all the things, and you watch the news every day and you're always frantic and always afraid, that is just going to manifest itself for you. The time that you have is the one thing that you cannot get back. So being intentional with your time is really important, and not spending time on people that are ungrateful is also important. Like, stop wasting your time with people that are not going where you want to go. Stop wasting time with people that are having conversations that don't make a difference. Look around. Most people are talking about what they don't want more of. Most people are complaining and being critical and saying it's someone else's fault. You don't have to live a life like that. You just don't. And if you're waiting to be motivated, by the way, to change, you might be motivated, but you probably won't be motivated every single day, all the time. And you might have willpower and you might be able to force yourself to do it. Systems are not willpower. Systems are not motivation. Systems are very discipline oriented. You create systems that support the goals that you have in your life so that you can get the result that you want. It's really just that simple, and it's also just that difficult. You either have the result or you have no result, and then you have the story that you tell yourself about why you don't have a result. So if you looked at the results that you have right now in your life, what does that tell us about your habits? What does that tell you about your habits? And what does that tell you about your systems? Systems create consistency. The difference between a person that wins and is lucky and is successful and a person that isn't, honest to God, is consistency. It is the successful person's willingness to do the things over and over and over again, even when it looks like it isn't working, and not give up and just keep going and just keep doing the thing. And most people don't do that. They set a goal, they start to do the thing, it doesn't look like it's working, they say, F this, it's not working, and they give up. And then they find a new goal, and then they do the same thing all over again. And so then in their life, you have this whole landscape of things that never quite were as good as they could have been because that person gave up way too soon. It takes an incredible amount of time to get to where you want to go. It takes an incredible amount of time doing something over and over and over again in order for it to finally give you the result that you want. And true mastery of yourself and of the world is being able to stand in the face of no result and continue to do the things that you know you need to do anyway, even when it looks like it isn't working. Because right after that, it will work. And in that place where people are beleaguered and tired and frustrated and it looks like it isn't working, that's where 90% of the people throw in the towel and give up. Because they just feel like they can't go one more day of doing the things. And then they start to tell themselves a story about why it's not working. And then that just snowballs. And they justify giving up. And then they go find something new to do. There's people that have lots of ideas. They have an idea, they have an idea, they have an idea, they have an idea. And they never take the time to build the legs out under the idea so that it works. They give up too soon. And this happens with people, and it happens with companies, and it happens with entrepreneurs a lot, because most entrepreneurs are visionaries. So they have these great aspirations and great ideas. And then when it gets boring when you have to do the things and continue to do them over and over again to get that idea to work, that's boring. So they give up and then they just go make a new idea. And although their business might work, it doesn't work to the best of its ability because it could be so much better than that if they just stuck it out through the boring part. And that's true in your life too. Like you have to stick it out in the middle. We talked about this, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks ago on the show, right before autumn alignment. Like the middle is messy. The middle is not fun. What will get you through the middle is good habits and systems. That's the only thing that gets you through the middle. Because in the middle, you're going to feel all kinds of ways. And most of them probably won't be happy because the middle is hard. When you make a transition or a change in your life, or you say, I want to go here, I'm here, and I want to go there. And then you start along the journey, the middle sucks. It sucks in the middle. It does. It's wretched. It really is. It's wretched. It's part of it. Because in that wretched, disgusting, yucky middle, you are changing. Remember, I just talked about your identity a few minutes ago? The identity of the person that you want to become is not who you are yet. And you don't just magically transform in 1 minute. It doesn't work like that. You go through a chemicalization process. There's alchemy involved. You become something new. And the only way that that becoming happens is in the middle. Is in the middle. That's why a caterpillar goes into a cocoon and then becomes the butterfly, because the cocoon is the middle. He's a caterpillar. He goes into the cocoon. It's wretched in there. He comes out beautiful and transformed butterfly. Same thing in your life. Nobody wants to be in the middle. Nobody wants to do the habits that work. Nobody, because it's hard and it's wretched and it's boring and it can be tiresome. This is why like-minded people are important, because a great part of the world is not pushing themselves. A great part of the world is not committed to personal growth and transformation. And so when you are in your life and you are committed to that kind of work, and then you're around people that are not, it's really hard to keep going, especially for a lot of people in the winter, right? Because it just seems like if you live in a colder climate, like in New England or in the Northeast or whatever, you don't go outside much because it's freezing, especially if you live here in northern Vermont. It's really freezing soon. It's not that bad yet. That's why I created the community. It's why I made the community free. So again, plug for the community, which is free. This is all to help you guys. I make my money by consulting businesses and executives. That's how I make a living. All this stuff I do on the show, consider it like it's my give back. It's my gift. I suffered a lot through my lifetime. I learned a lot of things in the last 57 years. I'm sharing them with you. It's why I do the show. Nobody pays me to do the show. I just do it because it helps people and I just want to help. If I can save you from suffering some of the things that I suffered, then my life means something. So, Unbreakable Wisdom here on the bottom. The community is free. Just hit join the elite community, or you can get into the Teachable School. There's some free classes in there. If you come into the community, guess what? The whole Teachable School is free to you. And if you don't want to do any of that, but you do want to do some work on yourself, at the top of the Unbreakable Wisdom site, there's a big thing that says free stuff. Click that, and it will give you all the weeks of the autumn alignment packages that I've created for you. Everything that you aren't changing, you're choosing. So if there's something going on in your life and you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And in some cases, that's just fine because it's what you want. In other cases, it's not what you want. And if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. That's the only two choices. I'm either choosing this behavior in these circumstances or I'm changing them. I'm either going to have the result that I want or I'm going to have no result. And your environment is either going to sabotage you or it's going to support you. So if you have habits and systems in your life that are not bringing you where you want to go, that's self-sabotage. You're sabotaging yourself. And if you do have a habit, like we're using this imaginary person that has a habit of watching Lifetime TV and eating a bag of Doritos every night, and maybe that person's also drinking a bottle of wine, right? So if that person wants to double their income in 2026, and that's what they do every night when they come home, what do you think is going to happen? I don't think they're probably going to get where they want to go. Because if they have a job and they have a side hustle, or they want to create this additional income from a side hustle, instead of coming home and sitting on the sofa watching Lifetime, eating a bag of Doritos and drinking a bottle of wine, they could be working on their own little side hustle business. They could be taking a class. They could be reading a book. They could be taking an online certification to get where they want to go. Results don't lie. Your results reflect your systems, not your intentions. It's that simple, and it's that difficult. The things that you do every day have a compound effect on your future. So if you start a new habit right now, today, and it's something that's going to help you achieve the result that you want, by this time next year, if you have done that thing every single day, the next however many, it's 365 days. So if you do that for 365 days, I promise you that your life would be transformed. I promise you that if you just picked 2 or 3 things right now, new habits that were going to get you the result that you want to have happen in 2026, and you started to do those things right now every day, and you did them religiously, consistently, and in a disciplined fashion for the next 365 days, you will be a different person by then. Because everything that it will take for the old you to do those 3 things every single day, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what, no matter if you're sick, no matter if you feel like it, no matter if your eye hurts or your ass hurts or your hair color is wrong or somebody's mean to you or your kids are a pain in the ass, if you just do those things, do them, what it will take for you to do that will transform your entire life. Because you will have to become a new person to see that those things get done no matter what. It's just that simple, and it's just that difficult. There isn't a magic bean that you can take. There's not a magic wand that I can bonk you on the head with. There isn't a secret sauce. That's all bullshit. What there is figuring out what you want, why you don't have it, how you're going to get it, and then making habits, actions, and systems that will get you there, and then doing those actions no matter what until you get the result that you want. Just that simple, just that hard. It isn't magic. It's consistency. It's discipline. And it's being willing to tell yourself the truth about what's really going on. If your income isn't where you want it to be, that is nobody's fault but yours. Do something about it. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And that's what I'm going to leave you with. What are you going to do about it? If you are not where you want to be in your life right now, if you are too fat, too broke, too thin, too anxiety ridden, too critical, whatever the things, if you are not where you want to be in your life right now, what are you going to do about it? Because nobody is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And I personally am doing everything I can to help you. Even if you've never watched my show before and you don't even know me, I've been here for 11 years. I'm not going anywhere. I've built a community for you for free. I have built a whole school with recorded courses for you for free. Only if you're inside the community, though. That's where you get the Teachable School for free. And the community is designed to support you. There are about 30 something of us in there, and everyone's on a track to personal development. And inside there, by the way, I'm teaching a once a month prosperity course that will go. The first one was this week. It will be 14 more months. And I am committed to people doubling and tripling their income. Not in a like, oh, let's manifest 8 figures, 7 figures kind of way, but in the kind of way where let's talk about reality. Let's talk about discipline. Let's talk about consistency. Let's talk about universal prosperity principles, and let's have you understand how to put those to work for you. This isn't a magical energy field where crystals are going to fall from the sky on your head and everything will be changed. I'm a very spiritual person. I have lots of crystals in my house. I'm a believer in all of those things. However, that does not negate the requirement for hard work, discipline, and consistency. That's the thing. Meditation is great. Yoga is great. Energy work is fantastic. Crystals are amazing. Sage spray is my friend. All of those things are great tools, but it's not going to change you into a different person. Only you can do that. Only you can change you. It's your responsibility. So I'm going to leave you with, if your life isn't the way that you want right now, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'll see you next week for week 6. Those of you that are inside the community, or if you want to quickly get into the community, go to unbreakablewisdom.com, click the button. We are going live for the Goals and Accountability group at 9:30, and there will be one of those every month. So if you do want to change, and if you want to make some goals with a group of people that will support you and be there to hold you accountable month to month, jump in and join us. See you soon.